Yo guys, welcome in today's video. And in today's video we are at a beautiful field right here in the Netherlands. The weather is really good. As you can see, the sun is shining on my face. It's really beautiful. Holland, guys, is a different country in the summer or when it's good weather than when you come in autumn or winter. It's really a different country, completely different. But I want to talk in today's video, guys, about the edge that you can have, an edge that most people actually do not think about, which is very important when it comes down to investing. Because we all know that with trading, the edge is pretty straightforward. Because with trading, you need to have a system. That system needs to have an edge. That edge will give you a little slight advantage than to other people who are entering the casino, and therefore when you run up the numbers, you are profitable in the long run. That is the whole game with crypto trading, guys. I cannot make it any easier, but that's the easiest way to explain how a profitable crypto trader works. And in reality, it's not easy at all, because you got to have that system, and that system is going to take the most time to try and invent that system, and a system that fits with you, that fits with your risk management. But like I said, guys, in today's video, we're not going to focus on that. We are going to focus on the edge as an investor. And one edge that you have as an investor, guys, this might be one of the most important edges that you can have as an investor, is your lifestyle. Yeah, you didn't think about that one, did you? Your lifestyle really determines your position in the market as well. Because think about it, guys, if you live above your means, right? So you have like a lot of money in crypto and you live above your means, which means that every money you earn each month, you are spending that month. Maybe because you have a very high mortgage, or maybe you have a very expensive car payments, or maybe you have some other contracts running, or maybe you took on a lot of debt and you are paying the interest on it. This will all give you a very short breath, because when an emergency happens and you suddenly need some cash, you are dependent on what the market is. Like, you are dependent on the money you have in the markets, the capital you have in the markets, your investment. And then depending on whether the market is good or bad, you will have to take that deal. So you have to probably take a big loss. And especially for many people, guys, with altcoins during this cycle, altcoins have been bleeding for longer than most people have anticipated, including me, 100%. But I feel I'm actually still in quite a strong position, because I don't need the money that I have in the markets, right? I have quite a long breath because I can just sit it out, and that's one of the luxuries that I have. And I found that out, guys, the hard way, because I had to in 2018. Like, the 2017 was my first bull market. I had a nice decent portfolio in that time, and in 2018 I left everything in altcoins. So those were bleeding so much, guys. It was horrible. But in 2018 I had to pay the rent of my house for a yearly basis, and I had to pay that in one go, and that was exactly around the bottom. So I had to sell my altcoins at the bottom to pay the yearly rent of my house back then. It's already quite some years ago, but I remembered already, like, wow, shit, now I have to sell for a very cheap price, while 1 or 2 years ago this was a pretty decent portfolio. I could have cashed in way more, and now I have to sell. It just felt really weird, but that really stuck with me, because I was like, oh shit. So if you keep all your money in crypto and you have, for example, like a high payment each month, or like I said, you live above your means on a monthly basis, you really could get in trouble. You're not that much of an advantage as an investor, because you don't have a long runway, you don't have a long breath. If you live below your means, and every month, for example, a certain percentage, whether that is 50%, that would be very good, whether that is 40, 30 or 20%, that money you can set aside to create a strong fundament as an investor. And set aside can be many things, guys. It can be to set aside in terms of cash. It's always good to have some cash laying around, right? To set aside in crypto, so to keep reinvesting in crypto when the market comes down as well. What else can you do with the money? Or to set aside in other things that are maybe a little bit stable, like stock market, gold, physical gold, precious metals, different fiat currencies. That's really depending on everyone's personal risk management and personal strategy. But the main point is that your lifestyle is your edge. If you live below your means and every month you are, even if it's 10%, you are reinvesting that 10% in a strong fundament, in a strong base. That can be your business as well, like invest in your business. That is always a good investment. Invest in yourself, invest in your business, have cash laying around, so you are in a strong position, which means that if the markets go down, you can just sit it out. You can sit it out if you can handle your emotional state, of course. But this is a very luxurious position that you can be in, to sit it out. And some ways, for example, to live below your means, in my case, is that, for example, if you love to eat steaks, right? You love to eat like a decent steak. For me personally, I would rather go to the farm somewhere here in the Netherlands. I buy some good steaks from a cow that actually stood in one of these fields right here, and then make it myself at home. I actually love that. But if I would, for example, go to the restaurant, which generally I don't really like anyway, but this may be a plus point. But if you would go to the restaurant, you'll pay for a steak, something that you can buy 4 or 5 steaks with, maybe 3, 4, 5 steaks with. This is just a small example, of course, which you can make yourself, so you can still live a luxury life, like treat yourself with quality foods, but it doesn't have to cost that much. And of course, I know that every situation is different, but everyone should think for themselves in their personal situation in a creative way. Like, how can you make your life like to the standards that you want to live, in the luxury that you want to live, but still don't drown in payments. So for me personally, I even have thought about this. I didn't do it eventually, but when I just came back from Asia back to the Netherlands, I was like, shit, housing is expensive in the Netherlands. I rather buy just a fan, or I just buy a boat and I'm just going to live on that boat. Right, like this was just an initial idea. Eventually, it didn't work out. So I had a look at some places, but it was not. Maybe I'm still going. Maybe I still in the future going to do something like that. Right now, I enjoy the house that I'm living in also. So, but these are just examples, right? And it really depends on your personal values in life too. Because my personal value in life was always freedom. It was always freedom. Like my parents often told me, like, why don't you buy a house? And I was like, no, I will not buy a house, because I don't want to be stuck to one place. I rather be liquid, and the portfolio goes in crazy up, down, crazy swings, but still be liquid and be able to, on every single month, be able to just go if the situation asks for that. If my heart tells me like, yo, you have to go on an adventure, you have to go. I want to be able to do that. Just the feeling to be able to do that is for me already worth anything. So this is the main point of today's video, guys. It's like, is your lifestyle reflecting your values and reflecting the position you want to have as an investor? And if you live below your means and you create a smart strategy for that, you actually probably make more money in the long run than if you would not have that strategy, not think about it, drown yourself in debt, make sure that you're living paycheck to paycheck, don't save anything each month, and eventually maybe are forced to sell your hands at a moment that is not the most beneficial moment for you. You are not in a strong position because you don't control. When you have a very long runway, when you have a very long breath, you control when you take that advantage, yes or no. You are not you are not inflicted by the effects of life, the physical effects. You are working directly with the cause, because you make sure that you already you already work on that cause. So if the effects comes, you already protected for those effects. I think, guys, this is a really, really good thing for every single one of you to think about it. Just think about how can you make your lifestyle, how can you change your lifestyle so it becomes an edge for your life. It becomes an edge in investing. It comes an edge maybe in your personal growth. Like if you, for example, would have certain routines set in place, right? In the first place, it's always pretty difficult. When you just start a new routine, the first 30 days are always a little bit difficult because your body has to get used to a new routine. But if it makes sense for you, and if your heart tells you like, hey, this is actually a good idea, go for it. Go through the 30 days, create some new habits, because this is an edge for your personal growth. Because if you do something for a very long time, every single day, then it will compound over time. Similar with if you would set aside 10%, 20%, or maybe 30% of your income on a monthly basis, and you would invest a little bit in your personal growth, you would invest a little bit in crypto, you would invest a little bit in your business, you would set a little bit aside in cash, then in 6 or 12 months, you are in a completely different position. And what I also feel, guys, when you are in that position that you live quite below your means, like when you have a lot of air, your whole state, the whole state of your body is so much more relaxed. And that relaxed state of the body will give you also a lot of benefits. It's easier to, you're not dependent on a lot of things, so it's easier to turn down things that you don't like because you are in a strong position anyway. So you can just go for the things that you like. Like all of these things are so beneficial, guys. I think it's a really good thing for every single one to think about their lifestyle and really think about how can you make your lifestyle your edge. And then I'm talking about as an investor, really, and I'm talking about as a person and with your personal growth, all these things, because those really matter for the quality of your life. Yeah, guys, that was it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I should have used this as a background. Whoa, because it is really nice. It is so nice. But yeah, think about what I said in today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this. And yeah, I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful life. I wish every single one of you a lot of prosperity and a lot of happiness. And I think if you focus on these things, if you just think about these things and you write things out and you are conscious of this, it is making such a big difference for your life. Okay, guys, much love, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye.